presents The Running Man, a world that profits from pain. In a future not far from our own, entertainment is no longer about joy. It is about survival. Governments have collapsed into corporations. Television has replaced justice. And the greatest show on earth is not watched for fun. It is watched to see how long a man can run before he dies. This is the world of the running man. He ran to save his sick child. Before he became a fugitive, before the cameras hunted him, he was just a father. The man we follow, a construction worker turned desperate provider, lived on the edges of society, where healthcare was no longer a right, but a luxury sold to the highest bidder. His child was sick, not just fever, but also the flu. Not something simple. A slow, life-threatening illness that required medication only controlled by state-run corporations. Every hospital door closed in his face. Every doctor asked the same question. Can you pay? He couldn't. Each night he watched his child struggle to breathe, watched hope slip away, knowing that somewhere in this city, medicine existed, but not for people like him. That was when the advertisement appeared on his television. He watched and took records of people's earnings and saw a reason why he too can earn that much. His child. A smiling host. A cheering crowd. Bright lights masking something ugly. The running man. He made a choice. The rules were simple. Run, survive, entertain. Contestants were released into the city and hunted by professional killers called stalkers. If you survived long enough, your family would be paid. If you died, the audience would applaud. He knew the truth. No one really won. But when the system forces a father to choose between certain death at home and possible death on television, the choice stops being a choice at all. He signed the contract. His child was promised treatment. And just like that, he stopped being a man. He became content, becoming the running man. The moment he stepped into the arena, the world changed. Cameras followed his every breath. Drones hovered like vultures. Commentators laughed, joked, and placed bets on how long he would last. The city itself became the maze. Every alley was a trap. Every stranger could sell him out for food credits. The first stalker came fast, overconfident, theatrical, hungry for applause. But desperation makes men dangerous. Using nothing but instinct, broken tools, and raw will, he fought back. When the stalker fell, the crowd went silent. No one expected the running man to fight like this. And every day he must deliver a video mail as proof that he is alive. Mobs gathered around the mailbox, waiting for him to appear. He was determined, nothing will stop me from seeing my child and my wife. He fights them and eventually delivers his video every day. The help he never expected. As the hunt continued, something strange happened. People began helping him, not because they were kind, but because they were angry. A former technician who sabotaged cameras, a woman whose brother died on the show, an underground network that hated what the running man represented. A little boy confronted him, told him, "I will get you help." The running man was wondering how, but he said, "Through my big bro." They hid him, fed him, warned him. Through them, he learned the truth. The show was rigged, deaths were scripted, winners were edited into losers. And worst of all, the bosses never intended to pay his family. And now the show turns on him. Ratings skyrocketed. The producers panicked. He wasn't following the script. He wasn't dying when he should. So they broke their own rules. More stalkers, heavier weapons, no mercy. Entire city blocks were turned into killing zones. Still, he survived. And with every kill, the illusion shattered. The audience began to see the show for what it truly was. Not justice, not entertainment. Execution for profit. The final betrayal came when the producers invited him to escape. A private plane, a deal, a promise of safety. It was a lie. Mid-air, the truth revealed itself. The owner of the show, the man who turned suffering into spectacle, was on board. So were armed guards. What followed was not a fight, it was reckoning. The producer said to him, "It's sad, but we have killed your wife and your child just to get the best revenge out of him, to get more reactions from the fans and viewers." In the narrow aisles of the plane, fists flew, guns fired, bodies fell. The running man was no longer running. He was hunting. The fans and viewers held posters and chanted, "Richard lives, Richard lives." That was redemption for him. Then comes the death of the boss. Face to face with the man who built the empire, the conversation was cold. The boss spoke numbers, ratings, markets. He never mentioned the dead. The running man did. And then, without ceremony, he ended it. Not for revenge alone, but to end the lie. The plane descended in flames, carrying with it the collapse of the most watched show in the world. Richard, the running man, attacked the boss and shot him. The broadcast stopped. The network fell. And for the first time, the audience was forced to look at itself. Because the running man was never just about one man running. It was about a world that chose to watch instead of help. A system that monetized pain. And a father who proved that even in a society built on cruelty, human will can still burn it all down. For more, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. Until next time.